After an 18-game absence due to that hamstring strain, James Harden returned to the lineup last night. It was the longest absence of his career, but boy, did he pick up right where he left off. He came off the bench after sitting out the first quarter. That was to manage his minutes so he'd be available at the end of the game. And he looked just like James Harden. He pitched in 18 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds in just 26 minutes of action. Here is James on the importance of getting back before the playoffs begin. Take a listen.
Of course. Preseason is one thing, regular season another level, postseason is an entire another level, and then it gets, the levels increase as you, go different rounds. So, for me, I wanted to get out there and just be on the court, for my teammates and let them feel my presence, and then also get my conditioning and my win back up to where I'm able to compete and be effective on both ends of the ball for an extended period of a game.
He's certainly doing all of that. And Vince, we've seen some other players come back from major injuries recently, and we say after their first game, their second game, oh, give it time. They got to get their timing back. They got to get their legs out and under them. We didn't see James needing any of that last night. What kind of grade would you give him in his return?
I mean, first of all, he's just a straight baller, and I'm going to give him an A. And that's exactly why I'm giving him an A, because sometimes you come back and you can do all the practice in the world. You can prepare, you can run on the treadmill, all of that. Until you're out there on the court playing a professional game of basketball, guarding some of the best players, doing what you do in the moment, you can't get that type of experience. You can't get back in shape until you're out there playing. He was unbelievable. Like you said, 18 points, 11 assists, 6 for 8 shooting, and he didn't look like he missed a beat.
No.
He gets an A because of his importance to the team. Yes, the San Antonio Spurs aren't the San Antonio Spurs of old, but they dominated him, and a lot comes from that man right there.
Rachel, A. That's all you can give him. I mean, Vince is completely right. A. I mean, you want to go A+. To me, the important thing is the 11 assists in 26 minutes. I mean, he got back out there. Remember, James Harden, to me, and I do have a vote. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was the MVP of this league for the middle third of the season. Yes. I mean, I know I started off saying LeBron, 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 and I would have stuck with that. And obviously, LeBron got hurt and missed so much time. And then it was James Harden. I mean, it's the playmaking. It's the ability to say what Kyrie said. I know he was partially joking when he said, I said, James, you're the point guard, and that's
right.
that. And James was like, good, I'm fine with that. And his ability to just come back in and do that, I mean, physically, but also, just sort of plug into what his teammates needed in that space and what they need going into the playoffs. That guy was the MVP for the middle third of the season. And I mean, what Vince is saying is so important. Sometimes physically, you have to shake the rust off. We've seen that with other great Hall of Fame players in this season, future Hall of Famers. But man, what James did last night was extraordinary to me.
It's so interesting. If you look at these stats, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star, but there's a number on the bottom. They're 19-3 with Harden and one of the other guys. Now, I would have expected that number to fall more in terms of, hey, when Kevin Durant is playing with one of the other guys, this is a guy who's a 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, 1-time MVP, right? Yet it seems to be in this combination of players, it's James Harden who's the activator. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. When Kevin Durant plays with just Kyrie, the Nets are closer to 500. And when they play with James Harden, they're 28-7 with any configuration of the other guys. Why do you think, Wilbon, it's James of these 3 that has made the difference in wins during the regular season?
Well, it's funny, Rachel, I've been asking other current and recent former players that same thing, and people have different answers, but the one thing they have in common is they say, look, James hasn't won that championship yet, though he has been a championship-level player. He's been an MVP in this league, but he hasn't won. And you know how much he wants to win. He tells you every time. He says that whenever he sits down post-game, his comments are all about winning, team and what they're doing and what he can facilitate. And I just think that comes through. I mean, he's not just talking it. He's playing it every game. I mean, some of these assist totals are extraordinary. It's like, Russell Westbrook's rebound totals don't make any sense. You just go, my God, how's he able to do this at that size and rebound that way? James Harden, to be the scorer that he's been and to be able to facilitate in this way, he wants to win. And I think that willingness to do anything, I think his teammates feel that every minute he's on the floor.
And I think it's the sacrifice he's made, and he's not playing the competition game within his teammates and the scores of Kyrie and KD. Because if you do that, the competition, you get sidetracked. And he came in with a purpose. I want to win. I've won scoring titles. I've shown that I can score with the best of the best, but I want to win. And his sacrifice coming in, and he's the best facilitator. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
You know, I think he's also one of the best scorers, but he's the best passer on their team, and he makes that team run. And when they're stagnant or they need a bucket, he can do that as well. So his importance is far beyond the other guys as far as that's concerned.
It's pretty crazy when the best facilitator, not only on that team that's a superstar-laden team, but in the league, is also a guy who could drop 40 on any given night that he wants to. I mean, that's an incredible skill set. It's interesting, we threw up the bracket just a minute ago. They could play Boston or Charlotte, kind of with the way things are stacking up now. And obviously, this could all still move around a little bit as we have just a few games left in the season. If we get LaMelo Ball with the way he passes on the same court for a series with James Harden and the way he passes, obviously Brooklyn will be heavily favored in that first round matchup, and I would expect it to go chalk. But it will be a lot of fun for all the fans to get to watch it, right?
I mean, for people who are
100%.
connoisseurs of moving the basketball, that's something you would like to see. And you know what? That's going to help LaMelo Ball in the future. I mean, he's going to be sharing that space with James Harden, not just great players, but with James Harden specifically, the way he's facilitating right now, bound to help him as a young player.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.